This episode of Band Yap is brought to you by McClellan Band Consulting. Chris McClellan offers support for band directors through marching band clinics, marching fundamentals training, concert band clinics, mentorship for directors, program evaluation, percussion section clinics and masterclasses, percussion tuning and head replacement, and T-test workshops. He's also the author of The Unconducted Curriculum, a practical resource covering the things directors are often left to figure out on their own, from budgeting and classroom management to advocacy, trip planning, and more. Learn more at mcclellanbandconsulting.com or reach out to Chris at mcclellanbandconsulting@gmail.com. Band Yap is proudly sponsored by Troubadour Consultants. When it comes to planning group travel for your fine arts program, look no further than Troubadour Consultants. Whether you're organizing a major out-of-state trip or need top-notch accommodations for the state marching contest, John Mize and his team are ready to create a custom travel experience that meets your band's unique needs. As a family-owned, band director-run company, Troubadour understands exactly what it takes to make your trip stress-free and seamless. Plus, when you book a trip with Troubadour, they will sponsor a $500 college scholarship for a student in your band. Directors who book will also receive a free Mollard baton as a special thank you. Visit troubadourconsultants.com today to start planning your next trip with the experts who truly get it.
I had taken some judging positions and at festival before any decision, so like the kids probably felt like I was abandoning
They
them
did. They were
early
like,
on.
"Where is he? Like, he's in Pride of Texas.
Like I was already doing
He's
stuff.
in Alley Cats."
So I got asked by a band parent, so do y'all get a bonus when y'all make state marching contests or we do all these accolades? And I say, no. She goes, then why do you do it then?
Hello and welcome back to Band Yap. My name is Alexa Sanchez.
And I'm Jose Sanchez.
And it's just us. We don't have anybody else to talk to, so it's just us.
We had to remember how to do this. Well, I think a big part of the reason that we're doing this specific podcast is because if you haven't heard, and if you follow the Yap or know us personally, we are taking new jobs.
We're moving.
And so that's kind of consumed our
I don't know why I
being.
did that thumbs up. No one can see me.
I mean, I saw your thumbs.
Yeah, we haven't done a podcast for a while, so this is basically like a catch-up.
Yeah.
Catch-up?
Ketchup. How do you feel about ketchup?
You know I love ketchup.
Yes.
And you know that 2 of our 3 children are ketchup obsessed, a la Shawn Murphy.
Yeah.
One of them actually likes barbecue sauce more than ketchup, which is incredibly surprising because
Yes.
he's the pickiest eater. The other 2 drown themselves in ketchup.
Also, if you don't do business with Shawn Murphy in some form or fashion,
He sponsors the podcast.
yes, but like you should do business with him. If I have not said that beforehand, this is also. I'm just going to do some plugs real quick. Band Yap 10 for the band Blueprint with Zach Santos and all these good people. We just did a pod with Jake Hilly.
Band with Jake,
and then Chris with
Chris McClellan.
Yes,
McClellan Band Consulting.
and he just came out with a book, which is
The Unconducted
fantastic.
Curriculum. Yes.
So do all those things.
Yeah, I felt a little bit bad when Shawn came to visit last and we were doing FanPledge because I was so stressed. And Shawn's really good about like coming out and just like kind of running the show and like not needing a lot of help. But I was like running around like a chicken without a head.
Why were you stressed?
Well, because first of all, you weren't there. And I guess everybody else was there, but there was like 4 things going on because we had the junior high classes and then we had the powder puff game for the high school band was going to play at in the middle of the junior high classes that Shawn was there for. And so it was just a lot at one time.
There was a lot of pandemonium.
Yeah, there was a lot. And then I was like trying to do the fan pledge thing while also like managing the behavior of the children, like the last,
2 weeks of school.
Yeah, where it's already like chaos. And so it was a lot. And so I didn't get to like visit with Shawn very much.
Yeah. But Shawn is obsessed with ketchup.
Shawn is obsessed with ketchup. I believe his license plate says ketchup something or
It
another.
sure
It's
does.
just ketchup, right?
Yeah, just ketchup.
Yeah.
And you would think it would be, it's like haha, I drive a fast vehicle. No, it's because of his, adoration.
Adoration.
He I mean,
Okay,
obsession.
what's your? I think I already know the answer. What's your preferred brand of ketchup?
The Whataburger.
Of course, yes,
Yeah.
Whataburger. I eat Whataburger spicy. You don't really. We always have both kinds in our
Okay,
house
see,
available
but the
at all
spicy
times.
one works well with sweet potato fries.
Yeah, you figured that out the other day. It just depends on what you're eating, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't think spicy ketchup is appropriate in all situations,
I would
but in
agree.
most situations,
Yes,
it is indeed
yes.
appropriate. It, yeah.
So
All that to say,
do business with Sean Murphy. Reach
among
out to
other things.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris is great.
Yeah, into the Troubadour. I'm just gonna plug all
We
our
didn't
people.
really okay, so
Zach
like
Santos.
yeah, Zach Santos, Troubadour. We have not like talked a lot. Like we've done some podcasts throughout the spring semester, but we haven't like talked about like what we've been doing a lot, which again, circling back to like the we're moving, we got new jobs, that kind of thing. But like we did some judging gigs. I got to hang out with Chris a little bit. That was fun. I learned a lot about Chris that even though we like talked about it on
Yeah,
our
talk to him for
podcast.
like 3
I know.
hours.
Like, did you know that Chris like has a storm chasing hobby? Like he's really into
No.
that. Yeah. We gotta have him back.
Okay.
He's got to he like from time to time has gone on like a storm chasing expedition or two. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The more you know about people,
I know.
I
So
just
fun.
like what storm chasing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I learned at
Huh.
the Region 7 UIL.
I had to back out of that judging.
This is a good PSA for anyone.
Yeah. If you're part of TMAA, make sure you're checking all your bylaws and the people you do business with and like clinic.
Which everyone should do that anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the
and like be honest about it, because I clinicked a group in the fall, and if you get paid by a school district at any point in time during that school year, you cannot judge them.
But you also didn't realize at first that they were going to be going to that contest because they
Yes.
don't usually go to that contest.
That is correct.
But they happened to go to that contest.
Yes.
So the sequence of events was Jose saw the contest schedule and looked at it and was like, "Uh-oh." And so then he had to contact Chris. And Chris was like, "Yeah, that's not good."
Yeah.
So they had to figure all that out.
And if you're a judge and you figure that out, do your person a favor and try and find a replacement.
Yeah, you're really good about that.
I mean, I had a list. I didn't wait. I was like, Chris, I will do this.
Don't you have like a note on your phone of like people that you recommend to judge?
I have a Google Doc of small school judges specifically. So people from 4A down that I really trust their opinion.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. So whenever somebody asks, I just open up my Google Doc and go like, I like these people. These people are great. Hire them.
Yeah. I had the judge. I judged 2 different regions this year.
You're not on that list, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm
not good enough. I judged 2 different regions this year. I judged sight reading for both regions. I had a pretty good experience with both of them. I thought a lot of the bands played really well. And it's always interesting in the sight. I feel like in the sight reading room more than in like the stage performance, you get to see like you're not in there for very long, but you still get to see like you get to see more of the personality of the band than you do on stage. I feel like because you get to see like the directors interact with students when they like come in the room and like have them sit down and like that kind of thing. So I find that very interesting just to observe and like see what people do and see what like they do that's different than what I do and just that kind of thing and how they interact during sight reading. Cause like on stage, you kind of see that like when they're getting on and off stage, but also when you judge on stage, you have to write, like you have less time. It feels like to write your comments.
I would agree with that.
And there's more like I judge most of the stuff was like level 1 and level 2 sight reading. And there's just like more meat with stage.
There is
like comments.
Well, I mean, because with sight reading, you're adjudicating one piece and it happens. Oh, I mean, how long is the piece?
Not very long.
Yeah. Versus 3 pieces that can range in 20 minutes to 10 minutes.
Well, and the thing is too, is you like want to give everyone like the best possible comments and like judging experience. Cause we've all like, that's happened to all of us before, but like you get a sheet back and it doesn't say like a lot and it doesn't like justify the rate, like that kind of thing, I try not to do that. So it just like, especially on stage, there's so much that you can hear and say, and like the program's longer, like you
Yeah.
said.
Well,
I
and like
just want to give everybody what they deserve.
yeah, the fair shake.
Yeah.
As far as like comments, because like everyone's there. Like for me, I want to grow as a director, and like you can't always get that from the sheets.
No.
You know, sometimes it's like it's nice to have in like a little suggestion, like, "Hey, try this." You know, this would be good.
Here's a question. Do you write on the scores?
I do not.
So there's like I feel like this is a very like divided opinion. Like you either like when judges write on your scores or you hate it.
Well, it's the same thing with the iPad or paper.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like it when people write on my scores.
Do you prefer to have the typed comment sheets?
Yes.
Yeah, me too, because I can read them.
Yes. And like I understand why, but I also want to use those scores again.
Yeah, that was the other controversy, not controversy, but like the other thing this year that people were getting used to is the drop down
Mhm.
in the TMAA thing, and yeah, how it auto populates the rating.
Yeah, I didn't witness that this year because like I backed out of that judging. But you did it.
I thought
So
you judged UIL this year.
I did not. I did region band.
Yeah, it's just like you choose in the rubric, you choose the descriptor that matches like what you hear and it populates the rating. So I think they're going to go back and like revisit that a little bit.
Yeah,
I could be
think
wrong.
so.
I
I
don't know.
think they are, and like I love.
I think they're just trying to make it like, sorry, more transparent.
Stop yelling at me. Yeah, which is great because like that's always been a comment about like, oh, you know, they didn't justify the rating.
Well, and I think that that's true, that some people like they give you whatever rating they give you, but they don't justify it.
Mhm.
Like even if you're going to give a 1, you should justify it, you know?
Yeah, or like like your band sounded fantastic too.
Oh, did we
Like,
talk about my band in the sight reading room and how I thought I was going to get a lower rating?
No.
Did we talk about that? Oh my gosh. So we go into the sight reading room and they did okay on stage. It was like we go to contests on March 4th. So it's early for junior high and everybody else, but especially like 7th graders that have never gone to UIL before. Anyway, we go in the sight reading room. We play the level 2 sight reading, and there's like, you know, a drum break, and then everyone rejoins, and my poor little 7th grade instrumentalist comes in a measure early, and then they like freak out, look on their face embarrassed, and then the rest of the band comes in. But I was like, oh my gosh, that compounded with like the other stuff that was not going super great. I was just like, oh man, that was rough. It all turned out all right, but that's just a reminder, is like nerves affect everyone, even your top players in your ensemble, and they are like some of the best musicians in the room, and then they just get so nervous that they make mistakes, and that's just a good reminder of that.
I mean, I make mistakes all the time.
Everybody makes mistakes all the time.
Well, like Alexa's laughing right now because our daughter just like straight up walked across our half-packed dining room wearing sound protection earmuffs.
I can cut this out.
No, I mean leave it in. And I don't know what she's doing.
She's rummaging for a snack.
Oh, she's rummaging for a snack.
Come here.
You want to say hi?
Can you say hi into this microphone?
Eleanor Dean, what's on your hand?
Marker.
Why is there a marker all over your hand?
She colored her chair.
What?
Hi.
Okay, say bye.
Okay, go to bed.
A podcast.
Okay, good night. We live in a house full of lunatics.
Anyway, I don't even know what you're talking about. Making mistakes.
Oh yeah, making mistakes. Like we playing some harder lit. Like I'm like, don't miss the key, don't miss the time, don't miss the time. And 1-4. You know?
Yeah, the same things. Like when you're talking about music making, the same fundamental things are the same, no matter the difficulty level of the literature that you're playing.
Yeah.
Like even with your top, you know, most mature players, it's still like, I hope you play the right key signature, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a real thing.
Yep. Well, so let's circle back to some big life decisions and changes that we've had. So we knew We knew this kind of before we did our pod with Jake.
I honestly don't remember anything because it's all like
It all
the end of the
happened.
year, just like
Yeah. So let's talk about the end of the year. What was the hardest part of the end of the year for you?
like for me personally, or for
Yeah.
me like as a teacher, because
Um,
there are two different
let's
answers.
do teacher.
Okay, the hardest part for me at the end of the year, and I think you might have a similar answer, is just like the level of apathy. And honestly, I feel like that happens from like the top down because it happens like in every class.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they come to band and I'm like, no, like we have a festival next week. Like we still got to do things that they've already like checked out. And I think that that's like partially a me issue. Like I think I could probably do some things better to like keep that from happening. Um but especially this year like it felt like really challenging to just keep everyone engaged into the end. And there's a point, you know, where they knew that like we were leaving. And so they checked out even further.
Yeah.
But that is always, I feel like, a struggle a little bit. So just like navigating the apathy. And
Yeah.
then it's like, well, why don't you just like put the goal that you're working for later, like the trip you're doing or whatever? And it's like, I could, but then it's just worse longer.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's a problem is that like our festivals are so late in the year that
Yeah,
it
and they don't
is.
have to be. That's just kind of how like it works out and how it
Yeah.
works best for us.
Hmm. But it's just like everything else is kind of shut down. Like Star is
That's the thing
done.
is like they
Like,
finish star testing and then they're like, okay, well, I guess we're done. And it's like I'm not done. I have not finished yet. I know this is like a very cliche band director thing, but like I hate when kids come in and they're like, "Are we playing today?" It's like this is band. Yes, we are playing today.
yeah.
Go get your instrument out. They're like, we're not doing anything in other classes. I'm like, I don't care. We're gonna do something. You're gonna learn.
Yeah. Well, and this is, we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot with this, because like we do our spring concert at the end of April, and we've strategically done that to stay out of the way of junior high soccer.
And I like doing that. I don't
Yeah.
find it that to be problematic.
Yeah, but we still have like 3 weeks.
Well, because it would be the same. I feel like because I've done it both ways, but it's like the same too when like they've already checked out and you do still have a concert. So that's what I'm saying. There are things that I could do better to prevent this.
Yeah. Well, like prime example, I felt like I did a much better job of prepping our seniors with how to end their school year or their high
Yeah,
school
and
band
you
career.
specifically had like a strategy for that this
Yeah.
year.
Well, because like we all know, like by mid-April, teachers and people are ready for the seniors to go,
Uh huh.
for one reason or another. It's just like, ugh. And like this past year, because we had such a large senior class last year, and I
Uh huh.
loved so many of those kids, and then like the last memory I have of them, several of them, even though they were great band kids for many many years,
Very
is
talented
yes,
musicians.
just like I the amount of love I had for them, and still honestly do have for them, kind of got overshadowed by the way they acted at the last bit.
Yeah, they just kind of like phoned it in.
Hmm.
They like finished. What was the last thing that they did? Like honestly, after UIL,
Yeah,
it's like we got to UIL and they were like, "All right, that was it." But it's like we still had a lot of time after that.
but I really do like thinking about that. It's just like it's so hard because like I saw some of those seniors again, and they purposely like avoided the band hall. Eh,
Yeah, which like sucks.
yeah, and it's because like we had to get firm with them at
I
the
know, and
end.
it's like they're like, "Well, I'm about to leave. Like, why are you being like a jerk?" Basically, and it's not that like that's the case. It's just that we still have expectations, and like you leave, but we stay,
Hmm.
which is what happened. They left, and then we were still there, and like I don't know. I just think being a good person and like living up to your responsibilities and like that kind of thing, your commitments isn't too much to ask.
Yeah, and we all know this, and I've said this before, is that the seniors are so like it's all about them because it's the last
Uh-huh.
leg, which is like, I understand. I fully will support their last bit of memories in high school. But not at the cost and to the detriment of the rest of the program.
Well, yeah, because it's like you still have a whole ensemble of people here that are not leaving,
Mhm.
but your toxicity is like spreading.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was the thing that I had the most trouble with is because like because it was such a large senior
It
class
was a big
last
senior
year
class.
that majority of the top ensemble was the senior class.
Hmm.
And so like w- trying to give the other kids the experience that they deserved. And that was like really really difficult.
Yeah. And which in turn this year, your ensemble was very like bottom heavy.
Mhm. Well, and I think the other thing that we did, which was different, is that after UIL, I pulled all the seniors. It didn't matter which ensemble they were in.
Yeah.
And I told them, like, do not allow, 2.5, 3 months to ruin 6.5 years worth of experiences.
Yeah.
And I think that really did help in a lot of
I
ways.
think so too. I think that they did a great job.
So I'm really proud of the way they handled the last part of the year. So
Yeah.
that was good. And I think, and we'll talk about this, that the fact that we are leaving was also very, very hard to navigate for a lot of our kids.
Yeah. Because they've never had to do that before.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about us and like how we've navigated
We've
the,
been talking about us the whole time.
yeah, navigate how we have guided this transition.
Uh-huh.
So we are leaving Gatesville and we are taking over Palestine High School and Palestine Junior High and Story Intermediate is the third campus.
The Palestine ISD band program.
Yes.
That's the easier way
No,
to say
no,
it.
no, no. I want to say all the names. And part of this came from several different areas. One of them being Jerry Wharton and Jeremy Strickland. Lots of J's.
Lots of
around here.
J's.
Yes.
Jerry, Jeremy, Jose,
Yes.
Jose.
Josue. Yeah. But that kind of all happened through them, and a lot of encouragement and a lot of thought and a lot of process. Um, and
We got to get those guys on the podcast.
yeah, I know. But it was a really hard decision because I've been at Gatesville for now. This is the end of the 10th year.
A full decade.
A full decade at Gatesville ISD.
1/10 of a century.
Yeah. It is. I have been there since since I turned 30. Ooh.
Wow. When you put it like that, it makes me feel old.
Yeah. So I spent my 30s at Gatesville
Yeah,
ISD.
you spent your entire like 30. Wow, that's kind of a bummer.
What do you mean?
An entire decade of your 30s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and like
You're old.
There's several reasons for that, and one of them being the workload that we were anticipating going forward, and not willing to sacrifice our personal lives and our family life in order to try and keep the same product.
Well, yeah, because we got a lot of kids. So
Yeah. 3 kids. 3 kids is a lot of kids. When does it become a lot of kids?
2.
2? When you have to play zone defense
Yeah.
instead of man to man.
I feel like 3 is a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like though 4 would feel similar to 3
Yeah.
in comparison to 1.
Probably.
4. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But some things like that, and we were approached by Palestine and we were given an opportunity to grow a program that was looking for a change.
Uh-huh.
We had to make some tough decisions early on with the Palestine program, and I was given the choice of, you can bring your whole entire staff. And when that happens, like, I feel the writing is on the wall that somewhere's looking to really invest in a new direction.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a lot to add to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I mean, but that I think that's kind of what it is. And for me, like being in those facilities, I mean, there's two band halls. There's a,
Well, it's a lot different than
yeah,
like what we have now.
yeah,
They have nice auditorium facilities and
a junior high band
a
hall,
junior high band hall, more space.
storage.
Yeah.
There was just lots of things that kind of like happened at
Right.
the right time, but there were just some things that I wasn't completely happy about, and there's an opportunity to help a program.
That's kind of like, I don't want to typecast you, but that's kind of your MO.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah. 3 of your past jobs have been like
To make a different impact on a program.
to lead the program in a different direction.
Yeah. Well, and I've been very fortunate because like Rosebud Lot, with David, I was the new energetic young gun
I
in that
think I
situation.
think that we don't talk enough about, and people may not know this even, I don't know, the impact that David Veneto has had on you and your career.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
There's like I know we talk about like the Mount Rushmore of band directors and like that kind of thing. In your personal Mount Rushmore, he might be the most influential person on your band career.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, because like he is just like he's just a fantastic band director. He's a lunatic, but he took me underneath his wing and pointed me in the right direction in a lot of ways. And then, he's been fantastic with like helping Jordan Sunderman over at Rosebud Lot. I mean, he grew Rosebud Lot, and he weathered the storm. Oh my goodness. He went down to just him. They did some weird things where I don't think they had sixth grade band there for a second. And, just some weird things. And then, when he was able to get that assistant, he hired Jordan, and man, they started making the state marching contest. And then he retired, and Jordan kept on doing the thing really well and kept David on as a consultant. And then David retired, and then
Unretired.
unretired and was a halftime director over at Jonesboro. And then now he's the head director over at Valley Mills.
Yeah, David has had a great pathway in
Yeah.
retirement.
Yeah. And, the guy leaving Valley Mills, James Trammell, he's actually taken over the Gatesville job.
Uh-huh.
So, we wish him the best in his new role over at Gatesville ISD. But, there's that. Wortham was a little bit of a.
That was different because it was like there was a band program, but there wasn't a lot of emphasis put on the band program. And that's just kind of historically like how it had been. Which is nice to see now. Like that is in like from everything that I see, like they still value their band program there, which
Yeah.
is really good.
Yeah, it was just different. They turned a corner in the extent, because before I arrived, there was a guy who had kind of repointed it
Yeah.
in the direction. But before that, during the fall, it was a park and bark band. They didn't go to marching UIL. They would go to region band, and then they would go to concert sight reading and solo and ensemble. But other than that, they didn't follow the usual UIL
Yeah.
tropes. But I was only there for 1 year because, well, something else came calling. And I went to Robinson, and Bob specifically hired me to take over the marching band.
Yeah, but you already had, and people might not know this, you already had kind of like an inroad at Robinson because you taught Austin Vetter tuba lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So they already kind of like knew you because you were around every once in a while.
So, and I liked Austin. He's a good kid.
Yeah. He's a good adult too.
Yeah, I know. And he's recently engaged. So good
Oh,
for
really?
him.
I didn't realize that.
But then taking over at Gatesville, I think that's kind of one of the reasons I was approached, is because over at Gatesville, I took over Gatesville when things weren't in a good place. There wasn't a great atmosphere between the administration and the band program.
Yeah.
and unfortunately, and the person I replaced, I like as a person a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot. Um, so being there for 10 years and kind of rebuilding what my vision was, or pointing the program in the what I thought my vision was very, very slow. But back then it was only three directors, and we were all kind of young. It was the second time I was a head director, and the first time I was only head director for 1 year. And you know I hired a first year teacher, and there's just a lot of bumps in the road.
We love you, AB.
Oh man, Amy, Victor Garza, who I've talked about, he's been on the pod, and I love him.
Michael.
Michael Hamilton, Lindsay Foff,
Michael.
and Michael. Man, how many Michaels did I
I
hire?
don't know.
To like hiring Johanna Reynolds, who, she'll tell you straight out that she had a kind of an odd situation in her first job, and she thugged it out for 7 years.
She really did. Johanna be like that though.
Yeah.
She got that like South Texas grit.
Yeah.
She's my ride or die.
I
I can't do anything without Johanna.
And that tells you like the kind of culture. And I'm going to quote Brian on this. Hekamovich. We're gonna like each other. We're gonna be like a lot of family orientation. And me taking the Palestine position, one of the caveats was like, I'm not leaving my staff behind.
I think that people also, especially outside of the profession, like they don't understand the loyalty that like we have to each other as like a staff.
Mm-hmm.
And like we're not the only director team like that. I'm just saying like people in general, like at their jobs, a lot of them are like, you're going someplace else for what? Like they don't get like I don't want to go unless Corbin goes, or I don't want to go unless Johanna goes. So it's like we have like a family meeting and sit down and talk about it.
We sure did have a family meeting.
Well, we have multiple family meetings, but that was kind of the thing is like I'm not going if you're not going. I have to go if you go. But like with Corbin, like I said that I was like I'm not going if you don't go. And Johanna, I'm not going if you don't go. And it's not like in a pressuring situation, but it's like we have the opportunity to like do this thing together, and I don't want to not be with them anywhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well,
and that's hard for people to fathom.
Yeah, and like I've had assistants come and go, and I've had, I hate to say a hard approach to this, because like I'll tell you, like I have cut people out of the family.
Oh yeah,
like that. I hate to say that. Like when Amy decided to leave, and I feel bad for this, but I kind of iced her out.
Yeah.
Same thing with Victor. I iced him out a bit, and it's because it's one, I think it's a little hard for me not to take it personally. And it's the same thing when kids quit band.
Sure. You really do take that personally. Yeah. Even though you say you try not to.
I really try not to.
You try not to, but you do.
But it's because I really do have a love for the person and the kid. And I always...
Which I also don't think people understand, because I've had several conversations with people like about other things recently. But they're like, well, why are you like about you? Like, why are you still fighting so hard to like for this kid to stay in? You're not even going to be here. It's like, well, because you care, and people don't understand that because they're like, what does it matter to you?
Yeah,
but you like will kill yourself over it.
And that's kind of like with them, like Victor and like Lindsay and Amy and all these people who've kind of left the program as underneath their own free will. Get out. I had to ice them out because like personally that it hurts me, and I don't like that feeling. I mean, who does? But
no one.
But that kind of helped me put things in compartments in a way that I could function and like move on and move forward. Which is hard.
Yeah.
And it's a little harsh, but I think that was the best way for me to do it. And it's just like, is it the healthiest way? Probably not. But that's the best way for me to do it. And which in turn, like I've been trying to champion the mindset of like, I'm going to finish the job. which is
Yes.
extremely hard. And like for me, actually, no, I don't think it's really hard for me. I think what's hard for me is trying to actually leave.
Well, I think what's hard for you is like the emotional attachment part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, you will kill yourself. Even though it doesn't really affect you, like there are things that don't affect you, you will kill yourself over them. And not everyone does that.
I mean, we have some kids who are, when I announced that I wasn't coming back, like we had some kids who got picked up from school, um, because they were like really upset.
I wish I could have been picked up from school. I could call my mom.
But that was really rough, and there were some,
I mean, I guess we should talk about leaving a job, which is basically what we've been talking about this whole time. But like, it sucks.
yeah, it sucks.
I guess I don't know. I think it depends on your past experiences and stuff too, because some people do this a lot, and that's what works for them, and then some people don't, and it sucks. But it's just, I don't know. It probably doesn't get easier no matter how you spin it.
No, like when I left my when I left the Rosebud kids, like that sucked. And when I left the Wortham kids, that was that sucked in a different way because it was the first time they felt, I think, fully successful
Yes.
from top to bottom.
And luckily for them, they got a great
Yeah.
situation after that when Mark came in.
But it's just like, oh, we just got this, and then he's leaving.
Yeah.
And then when I left Robinson, I left like in the summer.
Yeah, that's a little bit different too. And that happens to people a lot where like you like end up leaving after school is already out, and then it's just like the dynamics a little bit different, you know.
But man, telling those kids and it was real tough. And then trying to fight the battle for the program afterwards.
Yeah.
Because man, I had so many I had conversations with kids left and right about like, one, why we were leaving, two, why they should stay in band.
Yeah.
And there are some kids who straight out just told me, I'm getting out because you're not going to be here.
Yeah.
Which is, I hate to say sad, but also makes me feel good that I was impactful enough for them to stay in a program and commit themselves to a program like that, because of the influence I had on them, or we had on them, or, Johanna, or just like what, and then like to see them not continue because we're not there just kind of breaks my heart, because this is an activity I care so much about and that I know that does so much good for them.
Yeah, and I had a lot of the same conversations with kids too. And what I don't know if this is like the best strategy or not, but they would be like, I just don't want to do it because you're not going to be there. And I would say, well, there's way better band directors than me out in the world. And you're probably going to get one here that you connect with even better than
that's the hope, right?
Me. Yeah.
I mean, I hope, the Gatesville program does better going forward. I really do.
Now that we got that old Mexican guy out of there.
Yeah. But that's what I wish for the program, and that's part of the deal. But it just kind of sucks because one of the conversations I had with the band boosters, I told them, I go, what's difficult about this situation is because I've been here for 10 years, that the kids and the community and several people always saw me as a constant.
Yeah.
And now that I'm not, it's like, what are we doing? What are we going to do? Because I was, I think, one of the longest positioned people in the district.
In the same place?
In the same position.
Yeah, probably.
In the district.
Yeah, that's probably right. I can think of a few other ones, but
I mean, I think the biggest lesson that I tried to teach the kids is that you finish it out, and you finish it out strong, which was really hard because I had taken some judging positions and at festivals.
I know you took
beforehand, before any decision. So like the kids probably felt like I was abandoning them.
They did. They're like, where is he? Like, he's in Pride of Texas.
Like I was already doing
he's
stuff.
in Alley Cats.
So trying to explain that was like, guys, I'm still here. I'm just like, well, and I think that's one of the important things, that when you leave a position, that you really should fight for the program and fight for the kids as much as you possibly can, because I know there are several people who have just like hung it up.
Listen, there's a lot of people that just hang it up, or they are just like totally so done. And some people actually do try to like sabotage from within before they go.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happens. Like people do all of these things. But I think what we're getting at here is you're trying to give it like advice of like how to be a good person and like finish it out the right way. And like,
I think that's the
I think
biggest
that
thing.
though, this is like something that speaks to your character and like how you operate as a person.
I'm a lot of things. Like, I know I am, and I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm gonna fight for the program until I can't fight
Well, I
anymore.
think that's another aspect that like people don't see is that part of it.
I
And
had a parent.
I'm privy to all of
Yeah,
this.
and like this is act, and I'll say this. I had a parent because like um I made a comment to a student who's getting out of band, and the parent didn't appreciate it, and it was a very nonchalant whatever. But I got yelled at.
Well,
I got yelled at,
uh-huh.
and then I was told, "I'm glad you're leaving." Like, really? Like, that's the comment? Like, your kid's already getting out of band.
I know, what does it matter?
Like, and I'm going, but here I am taking this phone call and getting verbally abused. And we wonder why teachers are leaving the profession.
Yeah.
Well, why you need to be professional? Well, you need to like let me do my job correctly, and hopefully, the proof's in the pudding that we've been able to be successful, and that I have the best intention for your child, and I've given them great experiences in their time here.
And went out of your way to do so.
Like, I didn't like. I got asked by a band parent, a sixth grade band parent
This is so funny to me.
who we've had their kids in the program already. Okay. Okay. So do y'all get a bonus when y'all make state marching contests or we do all these accolades? And I say, no. She goes, then why do you do it then?
Why do you try so hard?
Why do you try so hard? I was just like, what other profession really does that?
Well, I think that's a great like advocacy moment of like why your kids should be in band is because we take these things seriously, sometimes too seriously. But if anything, that there's excellence in what you do no matter what the outcome is. Like I think that's what you should take away from it. Like sure, if we don't make the state marching contest, whatever, fine. But like were we excellent on our way to that result, to that outcome? Did every rehearsal get better? And I think that that's why it's important. Once again, not everyone does it or sees it that way. But
yeah, and like it was so hard. It was so hard because like we were anticipating doing honor band recordings. We were anticipating this and then that and this, and we had picked a cool marching show, and then it's, well, we're not going to do it anymore. And yet I am going
well,
to
the kids get to do the marching show.
but like as a staff, we don't get to see, we don't be
Yeah.
get to be a part of the process. And like here I am. I'm going to go to a leadership seminar with the Gatesville kids in order to help bridge the gap between me and James.
Uh-huh.
I sat with James for a couple hours last week to walk him through some of the things that like Gatesville does. And like, here's I got a PO. And on a flash drive, I put the PO, I put the transportation request, I emailed the transportation organizer and like CC'd him on the email for it. I've started doing all these kind of transitional things in order to make his life easier, hopefully make his life easier. We've sent him past year's roster. We sent him the sixth grade roster with band instrument testing. I've started sharing document after document as I remember them with him in order to make this transition as easy as possible. At the same time, I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, you have to start taking over all this stuff, and I can't like help you along the way, as much as you might like, because it's going to be your program.
I will say too, you're doing all these things because I feel like this is what everyone should do, and like that's the right thing to do, and just like set your kid, they're still your kids, like up for success. If you have never like taken over a job before, not everyone does this. And so if you do have somebody in a transition that's like willing to sit down with you, please take the time to like thank them, because some people just leave and that's it, and they will not leave you anything. And I've seen that several times, and that's not cool. It happens. It's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, because like, why are we band directors? Why do we do this?
Well, people will say what they think you want to hear, which is we're in it for the kids and the love of music.
Yeah,
but not everyone actually means that.
no, and like we have another kid who was getting out of the program, for whatever reason, and like I he was at State Soul and Ensemble with us, and like I gave him a hug because it was probably going to be the last time I would see him, maybe ever. And I told him, I go, look, I go, man, I love you. And like, I hope all the best for you. I really wish you would stay in the program because I think that's what's best for you, even though I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
And know that I will be cheering on for you from afar. And, he gave me a big hug and he goes, thank you for everything you did for us. I go, hopefully I gave you an example of how to finish things out strong. He goes, Mr. Sanchez, I've been thinking about that a whole lot and I wish I could have done that better. Mm. And like things like that. And they're just recently, like, I had a really good conversation with a former student who reached out about just life in the direction that he was trying to go.
Oh, yeah.
And, it was just great to reconnect with him and go like, this is what you need to do. And like, remember your why and remember, because the conversation we had meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
It just so happens like honestly in that moment of low for me, because like I'm sitting in the band office and I'm watching my office walls become more and more bare and things are taken out of the office and, I'm packing my stuff up and I'm starting to move. He just out of the blue, I get a text from this kid and he goes, I miss the band office. I miss my conversations with you about life. And I miss the family that the band provided for me, and he's in college.
Yeah. That's what people, and like, I don't know this experience because I didn't do it, but that's what people say about drum corps. It's like you do drum corps and then you're like inserted back into the real world. And it's like hard to find that like community again where you spent like 24 hours a day together, like working for the same goal and like have that culture and community and like not be able to find that otherwise, like outside of it.
And
because like even when you go to college and you have people in the same major, they're not necessarily like as locked in as you are.
Yeah.
Because people have different, goals.
But that's kind of been what's been going on in our life.
I will say, people say all sorts of stuff about you when you're leaving that they wouldn't tell you otherwise. Good and bad.
Yeah.
I've gotten like, or you've gotten more than I have, but like people have like reached out to you and like not necessarily people that you've like talked to recently, but they're like, oh my gosh, you've like made such an impact. I'm so sorry to see you go. Like that's a really nice thing to do. And they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And then people say you're awful and that they're glad to see you go when they yell at you on the phone.
Yeah. It's just like, man, what really ticks them off, and I think that's what kind of did this, is that I stopped mid-conversation. I go, ma'am, if we can't talk like adults, then we're not going to have this conversation.
That's pretty much your tactic anytime that happens to you. Anytime that you have a parent that's like trying to get you riled up. And it pretty much always like pisses them off enough to where they just like hang up or walk away.
Really sets them off.
Because they want to engage you, which is why they say things like that.
And like, man, I can engage. Like,
I know you can,
man.
I know that you can.
If you don't, like, if you've never been in a verbal altercation with me,
I just crumble, so I'm not the good.
Oh man, I am.
This is why we work so well together.
Woo, I round up. I mean, that Hispanic spice. But I've learned that doing that with
Black
parents, yeah,
pepper.
that's a spice. I've learned with parents that doesn't work the same. So like when they're getting coming at me with some aggression, that's kind of my.
There's also just like parents that are never going to get it, and you can't approach them like logically. Like there are people that like you can do the right thing and they'll still like talk crap about you. And they just are never going to get it. And
Yeah.
it could be, you've said this before, it could just be because you're the band director and they hate whoever that's going to be or whatever. But there are just some people that aren't going to get it. And I think that that's true in all aspects of life, and that you kind of have to step back from a situation
Well,
sometimes and approach it from that. Not everyone is going to get it.
Well, part of it also is that band in a lot of ways doesn't have like main characters within the band program.
Yeah.
Like to be a full, like an
I mean,
actual,
you can.
yeah.
It's,
But some students feel like they're the main character to everything.
yes.
And so therefore they want to be treated like they have exceptions. And so
Yes.
I think that is one of the things that really rouse parents up about me
Yes.
is that you're not the main character for me.
Yeah.
And so when I hold you accountable to the standards that I have,
That we hold everyone to the same
Yes.
exact standard.
and I have individual conversations with you, I'm the bad guy. Well, you didn't treat everybody else that way. No. You just weren't the main character in their story.
Also, like, how do you know how I treated everybody else? Unless it was like in a public situation.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, do you know about this conversation I had with this person? They're like, no.
Or
I'll
the
go,
consequence
good.
that they have.
I
or,
go, good.
Yeah.
Good. Then I did my job right. Because that's none of your business. But, it is what it is. And like, that has kind of been and I've said this, I want to like everyone and I want everyone to like me. And it's to a fault.
They don't.
I know they don't. But it's to a fault.
Yeah, it is to a fault.
You
should probably go to therapy.
I probably should.
How is your fundraiser going this year? If it's anything less than amazing, it's time to talk to Shawn Murphy at FanPledge. No product to sell, nothing to deliver, and guaranteed results. Raise at least 10% more than your current donation-based fundraiser, or it's free. Fun, fast, proven. Call Shawn at 903-948-7348. FanPledge. The champions are already on board. Are you?
But like I'm fighting for the kids who are wanting to get out. I'm fighting for the program. I'm fighting every tooth and nail, and I take it personally because I'm so invested in them as people.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks.
Yeah.
But like, I also recognize that sometimes I just have to get out of the way. People are going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah. And I think that the band directors who make the most difference, maybe not the most. And here's the thing is like people talk about success in different metrics. Like I feel like a successful band director is one that gives kids a good music education and like helps them be good people through the medium of music. And it's really not about what the students can do for you, but it's like the JFK, what can you do for the students to like make sure that they have a good experience. And I think the successful coaches and the successful band directors and so on and so forth are student focused in that way. Now, the problem is that a lot of people say that they are in it for the students, but they're really in it for what can the students do to make me look better.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens a lot.
And I'm willing to fight a battle.
That happens a lot with coaches.
Yeah.
Sorry. It happens with band directors too. But
yeah, but like how many times have we fought the battle of like, oh, coach said that I need to quit band to focus
a million times.
And
like once a week probably.
Yeah. And it's just like, no. Is that what's going to make you happy? Like,
well,
I could say the same thing to them. I'll go, you need to quit this.
Yeah,
so you can focus on.
You've never told a kid that. There's a lot of people out there that don't even know the kids' names. And they're trying to like influence their decisions. But I've told the kids before too that if another adult that's not like your parents is trying to pressure you into choosing between two activities, they're probably not thinking about what's best for you. Because do you like doing both things? And most of the time they say yes. It's like, okay, then why do you need to choose? If you like doing both things, why are we letting an adult pressure you into choosing?
Well,
And I tell them too, I am not pressuring you into staying. If you don't feel like this is the right place for you, then you need to do what you feel like is best. But if you feel like someone is pressuring you to choose, one, it won't be me. Two, you need to think about if they have your best interest at heart or their best interest at heart.
yeah.
I had that conversation several times.
Well, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And then when you do the thing and you confront and you have conversations with adults, they tuck tail.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
The funny thing is that people will say all sorts of things too to kids that they won't say to an adult. Like if you would not say it to an adult, don't say it to a student. Like if you're not going to say that in a room full of administrators or whoever, like don't tell a kid that. Do you think that the kid is just going to keep it to
No,
themselves?
no. Like I've had adults go like, yeah, they said that. Like a parent of a kid
Yeah.
who was told something, and then when I addressed the person, they're like, I didn't say that. I'm like,
It's to
the
say
parent,
they were the kids in school that were like, I didn't do anything.
yeah,
I saw you do it. No, you didn't. I literally didn't do anything.
yeah,
They
have
were
this,
they were those
the
kids.
smoking gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were those kids.
I don't get it. And I think that's the thing that's kind of been like also frustrating is because, man, the vultures sure do come out quick to pick things apart whenever there's a transition like this.
Yeah. All sorts of like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to think about.
They do. It's just like, oh, there's a weakness, the kink in the armor.
Yeah.
And so therefore, like they just want to go say anything and everything to get kids to leave the program.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. They see a weakness and they're just trying to take the whole animal.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, why? I've never understood why do you need to tear one thing down in order to build another thing up?
Well, theoretically, you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, theoretically.
I would say too, I really hate the idea that within a school that there is bred competition between the programs that all benefit the student body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I shouldn't like, and we all have to do some level of recruiting, and that kind of sucks if you think about it. Like in 6th grade, like when you get the one elective, and like why do we have to compete against each other so heavily for kids?
yeah. Between that,
That's just like a flaw of the education system, but.
yeah.
I just think that like you should want every program to be successful.
Well, and that's the thing. Like if you look at the school districts that are being super successful,
They're good at everything.
They're good at everything.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell me, and like I know there's this whole entire thing about like school size and yada 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 yada. But like if you look at like let's say Argyle,
yeah,
back when they were true like 4A and then the 3A system before they started really getting big, they were being successful at all levels when they were 2A, when they were 3A, when they were 4A, and now they're being super competitive in 5A.
Yeah. And like a good example of this, and we've talked to both of them, but is Shiner.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach and Whitney will both tell you that like Shiner kids take everything seriously about like competition and that kind of thing. And that's just kind of bred into the community. So
I mean, and that's why it's like, like there was one parent that I had a conversation about our practice schedule, which is a lot less than a lot of other people. But they're like, well, you just do the same show over and over and over again. I'm just like, you don't understand.
Have you ever even watched it then? Like if your kid is in the program and you think we're doing the same thing over and over again, have you ever actually watched something? We're doing a lot of complaining right now, but that brings me to another thing. I don't understand the parents. And this isn't true for every community. I would say a lot of the things that we've talked about like are different across the board depending on like where you live. I don't understand the parents that their kid is involved in a time intensive activity like band and they come to 0 of the activities.
Yeah.
Like there are some parents I have literally never seen, and their kid is heavily invested into the band program, and they have not once come to a performance.
Yep.
And that makes my heart hurt for the kids that like they don't have someone at home that like roots for them like that.
And and I understand that like there are parents who have jobs that are in
No,
bad
yes,
times.
there are,
don't-
and there are there are kids that will speak up to that effect and say like, "Oh, I wish my parents could cut like whatever," but that's not the case for everyone. But that is true. There are parents that work nights and whatever; they still come to the things that they can come to.
There was one parent teacher conference that I had because we were not relinquishing a band fee because
Uh-huh.
they had lost a piece of our equipment.
Uh-huh.
And this parent in the meeting goes like, and that Mr. Sanchez like was about to complain about me
To you,
to me because she didn't know.
who you were.
Yes.
Uh-huh. The call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah. Like you were complaining about me to me. Like, hello?
You should have just like taken your glasses off.
Is
Oh, he's
here he
here
is. Here he is. Superman that thing.
now. That's funny.
Glasses on, glasses off. But yeah, she was like, and that Mr. Sanchez, I don't like him either. I'm like,
That is
that's this guy.
hi.
Hello.
That's hilarious.
Like how your daughter is in 8th grade. 8th grade.
She's been in the program for 3 years.
Like that tells me everything that I need to know.
That's like at least like 8 concerts.
At least.
Yeah.
Because what we do,
You did 2 in 6th grade, and then in junior high.
oh,
At
no,
that time,
you do 3. You do 3 in 6th grade. Christmas,
trip.
spring, trip.
Sure, 3, and then like
The fall, Christmas,
Christmas,
pre-UIL,
UIL,
UIL.
spring.
That's 8 by 7th grade year.
So they take the time to go up to the school and complain. That's what they'll take their time to do,
Yes,
but not to attend a performance.
correct.
Okay.
And let me tell you,
I would even argue that
she did not take the time to dress herself right.
I would even take the time to like argue that there are some performances that are more convenient than others, because like if you work nights and your UIL program is like during the day, like maybe you could come to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But there's some kids that like there are obviously parents that are not going to be able to come to things, but there are some parents that intentionally do not go to things.
Well,
that's what bothers me.
Yeah, but like I have some parents. We have over at Gatesville that like they work nights.
Yeah,
but I tell you what, those parents are at every single marching contest.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is like if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. And they are up front. Well, I can't help on this of it, but I'll help out with this. And I'm like, great, fantastic.
Well, and this is the thing too, is like I know that we have kids that have like disabled family members. They still take the time and effort to come to things.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like, bleh.
Anyway,
I don't know. That's been the toughest part with this whole entire situation.
Is the leaving?
It's
like you're like breaking up, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it sucks.
It really does. Because like
I don't think it gets any easier.
I don't think so either. Like the kids recognize that things are more barren in our office, and
yeah, the kids that like, to me, like it kind of clicked a little bit with them is that I had some junior high kids that like write me notes. They're like basically thank you notes, whatever. They're just gonna miss me, whatever. But there was one in particular that I can think of where she wrote, "I'm sad that you're going, but I know that there are other kids out there that really need you, and you've already made an impact here." I was like, well, that is really profound, 7th grader. That is like really, really sweet. And I don't know. That's one that stuck with me a lot.
There's one Dazzle Me project I haven't read yet. It's the state shape in our office right now.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Because there's a long note on
I
it.
think I read it.
Yeah. I wasn't in the correct emotional place to read it because
I feel like you cry way more than people realize that you do.
Yeah, I I'm a
You've
sensitive
gotten
soul.
weepy as you've gotten older.
I've always been weepy. You
You've
just
gotten
never.
weepier.
Yeah. Well, I think it's become being a dad,
I think
doesn't
that
it?
that's what it is too.
But like, oh my goodness. So like we do Dazzle Me projects, which is part of our leadership process. Just something to let the kids just freely express themselves in some form or fashion. And there's been a couple that have gotten me,
Right
there,
in the feels.
yeah, right in the feels. One kid did pictures from my 10 years here in a little scrapbook. So that one got me a little bit. This one that I just talked about the shape of Texas, and it has like an arrow going from
Oh
Gatesville
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
Palestine. And then uh the other one is a band dictionary.
Oh, that's yeah.
A band dictionary, and there's words that have the actual definition and then the band definition, and then in between, after so many letters, there's a quote that I have had sometime, in my tenure, and the last quote on the very last page got me. Oh, it got me so good. I sat in my office. Oh, and I felt so stupid because Officer White
Yeah.
comes into
He
the
told me about
office.
this.
He did, punk. Our SRO comes in as I'm like in mid like cry. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "No." I'm like crying in the office. And the last page of this dictionary is leave it clean, leave it better than what you found it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh
Weeping.
no. I mean, I'm crying, because I do love the program and I do love the kids. And it's just like when we have to sit down and look at what's best for us and our family and those types of things, that those you have to really think about what is going to be with you for the rest of your life. And yeah, the experiences for the kids and everything, but ultimately this experience, the situation we're going into is going to be a lot of work. Um, it's going to be rewarding.
Yeah. And I've said this, I'm like guilty of saying this before, is that like sometimes people take jobs, especially those who maybe serially take jobs. I love you guys, but there are some of you that happens to. In hopes that the grass is greener. And
We're taking a job that we know it's not greener right now.
I know it's not greener, and I just think that the grass is different. Like
Yeah.
it's a different
Is it
it's a different breed of grass.
Yes.
And
Bluegrass?
it's not greener. It might not be green right now, but it can grow.
Yeah.
So
It's in hibernation right now.
and like we've talked about this before too, is that there are some people that won't take a job if there is just one tiny aspect of it that's not ideal. And if you have the power to do that, then that's great. But I don't ever view those situations as like, well, it's a little bit wrong right here, but it's like it ruins the whole thing. Like I
Mhm.
don't view it like that. I view them basically as ingredients that hopefully as time goes on, I can get higher quality ingredients and make a more delicious tasting cookie. But I don't think of it as like, well, this one thing doesn't work for me, so like I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like they like I would say like one of the biggest obstacles in our current job at Gatesville is that like we don't have enough teaching space. Like, and we've been very, public with that. We talked about it at TMEA and like that kind of thing. It was like we only have one band hall for 7th through 12th grade. That didn't prohibit us from being successful teachers. Was it limiting? Yes. Were we still able to work for it with it? Yes. Does that mean I want to do it again? Not necessarily. But if you would have let you 10 years ago not take a job based on that one factor that was limiting, your career would be vastly different.
Yeah.
And maybe not necessarily in a good
Well,
way.
and it's the same thing with like pay. Yeah, there's a good amount of pay. Like there's life-changing money, and I understand that. But like for example, you have to know when it's the time.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have to realize that. Like I was offered a job after Wortham that was going to pay me $25,000 more a year than what Robinson was as a head director. But my crying girlfriend in the car deterred me, for one. And then two, also the realization that I needed some people in my corner to help me.
I don't think that would have been an ideal situation for you.
Yeah, I probably not.
And looking back, I think that you realize that
Yes.
ish.
Well, I also know like working part of a staff and learning how to work on a staff is super important.
Yeah, and it's like all these like, what is it? Like the butterfly effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, you probably could have been successful, but then you wouldn't have like taught with Stephen, Robin, and Bob,
Yeah.
And like you learned things from them that are invaluable.
Yeah. Their crying girlfriend in the car was Alexa, by the way.
I thought that was kind of like implied.
9 years.
I don't know. I don't say that about like people who change jobs frequently or like people that won't accept a job for a certain reason. Like I don't mean that as like a slight in any way. It's just that I know that there are people like that. And I am not like that. And so when there have been people that have asked us like why would you take that job? And it's like, well, there's like a million factors as to why. And I can sit here and explain all of them to you, but that doesn't mean that it would be the right situation for you. Like you might not understand all the factors that led us to like realize that it was the right situation for us, but it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that like it is. And like people are like, well, that's going to be challenging. It's like, yeah, I know. And I've said this to you before too, but when people like make those comments and they're like, yeah, that's going to be really challenging, or even like hope the worst for you, because I know that there are people out there like that. They like hope we don't do well. That makes me want to like do it even more.
Well, those people,
and I think that that's not healthy.
Well, people also don't know that I got that dog in me.
Yeah.
I think some people realize I have that dog in me.
Some people do realize you got that dog in
you. Shout out Alexa Sampley.
Yeah.
So like I love Alexa Sampley. I love her so much. She drives me a little batty sometimes. And what's funny about Sampley, and she said this to me because I hung out with her not too long ago, is that she goes, Jose, I play to the dog in you because I know you got that dog in you. Mm-hmm. And I said, girl, that dog's been, that's an old dog.
That dog's been barking.
But like, that's the other thing. And I think that's why I click so well with like the people I click with, with Brian.
Yeah.
Brian's
got that dog in him.
Yeah. Brian Sowers, Brian Hekimovich, Mark Wiley, John, Shawn, and Sean, all these people, Amanda Stevenson, like talking to all these people, Shaka Hawkins, man. Uh-huh. But all these people, Kim, Mike, like all these people got that dog in them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you don't got that dog, you ain't got that dog.
Yeah. And like, we have again talked about this before, but like how you like don't turn off and you just perpetually work. And that's not everyone can live that way. And not everyone's spouse can accept that. Like, I am not unaware of that. But it does speak to your dedication.
Well, like, so we still live in Waco, and I've been driving out to Palestine, and it's almost a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, from our house, it's an hour and 53 minutes.
Yeah. So I've been driving back and forth every few days. So I've been doing a 4-hour trip to get things going.
Let's talk about this. You've had an unconventional transition too into your new role at Palestine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would say so. Oh. Like you kind of like got involved earlier than I would think most people do, which is nice because it kind of led to like you kind of like not sneaking in, but you kind of were able to like slowly introduce yourself. Yeah. And like put a face to a name and like that kind of thing.
I flirted with the office ladies.
Yes. And you've already like taken care of all that. Like you've already flirted with the secretaries and like gotten to know the custodian and like all of those things, which Do you want to talk about some of your like hot tips when you take a new job?
And see, here's
Flirt
the
with the secretary.
Oh, I flirt with the secretaries. Like there is no, and you got to know. You got to know. There's certain vibes you got to kind of read, and
Yeah.
like if that vibe ain't there,
Well,
you
some of
gotta.
them too. What there's two ways that this can go. One, they like talking to you, and that's fine. Two, they're suspicious of you and what what you want.
Yeah. Luckily, I
Which
think.
right now is not much.
Yeah. I'm just like, can you just show me where things go,
Can you
please?
like, and they like, ooh, that's, and everyone says this, but the secretaries and the custodians, they run the school.
Mhm.
So like, if you need to know something, they know. Now, whether or not they're willing to share that information with you is where the key is.
Mhm. Yep. No, I mean, I went off and I bought lanyards for all the front office ladies, you know, and I said, hey, do you want a lanyard? And it was the school colors, and they're like, well, I really don't. I go like, it's okay. Do you want it? So they're like, sure, I'd love it. Great. Here's a lanyard.
Here's some like I'm gonna be an influencer for a second. Palm cheese.
Yeah.
Those are the lanyards we use, and you can probably find your school colors, and they look cool, and those are the ones that we use. So Palm Cheese, POMCHIES, not sponsored,
But I handed them out. And like I actually, because I didn't hand it out to a specific lady, she came and found me. She goes, I heard you were handing out lanyards.
you bred resentment already.
She was all like,
Day one.
she goes, why didn't I get one? I go, you weren't around when I was handing them out. I got another one in my car. She goes, can I have it? I go, just for you.
Look at you.
Hey, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? And you know, it cost me money, but if it makes somebody feel good about themselves, we chatted up in one of the counselor's offices.
The Palm Cheese are on sale right now,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah. But we were chatting it up with actually the registrar who's in charge of cheer. And she and we were just chit chat. And like they found out they like us.
Oh.
Because it was me, Johanna, and Corbin. And we were just having a grand old time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ladies, so margaritas later? And they're like, boy, don't even start. I go, I just want to know where we meeting, what we doing.
Yeah, I wasn't invited. And speaking of that, I think that, and you've spoken to this a little bit already, but like the transition for us as a family is going to be a different dynamic, but like in a good way, because for the past 10 years you've been commuting, and now our commute is like less than a minute, like literally less than a minute. And so I just think that that's going to like change a little bit and like make it easier to be present.
Yeah. Because I have been staying up at the band hall until 6. Then it's a 30-minute drive.
Which you don't have to do that. If you that's not for you, don't do it. But that is what Jose does.
But you know, by the time I get home, kids are asleep. Joel specifically.
Yeah, mostly him.
Man, I've been like we weren't doing early morning rehearsals, and I was getting Joel ready in the morning. He didn't know what to think about it there for a hot second. He was like, "Meh."
Surprise. Oh, when you picked him up from daycare the other day too, he was like, "What?
Meh?
Yeah."
Yeah, that's exactly what he does. But that's the time that we're going to be getting back. I'm specifically going to be getting back.
Okay, I have something to say, and I was going to bring this up earlier, but when you were talking about the hardest part of like the spring or like the end of the year is T-ball. that was why I asked you if you wanted me to differentiate. T-ball has been the hardest part of the end of the year for me.
And like ladies and gentlemen, this was a full out argument in this household. T-ball.
And I still have my same feelings about it.
Yeah.
I'm not displeased that we did it, but I still feel the same way. It did not change my opinion. It probably just reinforced it, actually.
Yeah, I confirmed it.
Yeah.
I think some of it was actually not as bad as you thought. One half was probably not as bad as the other half.
Well, I can talk about why that might be too.
So there was a discussion about T-ball in this household, and one of us was for it, and the other one was not.
I am not against our children doing activities. I am against T-ball specifically. Actually, baseball specifically.
Why baseball?
Because the culture is the same. It's just a different name.
Yeah. Well, the activity is great.
The activity is great. That's not
The
the problem.
the culture within the parents is not great.
And yeah.
Well, that's also another reason why we don't have umpires and referees
I
and
know.
officials.
And I've said that multiple times because I'm like, why is this coach of the other team like verbally accosting the umpire? And I've like literally said that at the T-ball games. Like, this is why no one wants
it's
to be an
T-ball,
umpire.
guys.
It's literally T-ball. And once again, it brings it back to what is this all about? Is this about winning the game? Because yes, and I've found that people find this interesting that in our T-ball league, which is 6U boys T-ball and 6U girls T-ball, because it is not co-ed, which is also different, they actually do keep score and can win
And make the playoffs.
make the district tournament and make the state tournament. So people care immensely about it. Which is, I'm not saying that the caring is the bad part, but how that manifests is awful.
Yeah.
And which is what you were saying a second ago. If you notice, which you don't go to all the T-ball games, I do not sit in the bleachers. I do not sit in the crowd of people. And I've talked to Whitney Sims about this because she does the exact same thing. I sit either, depending on which field and which dugout it is, I sit either behind or further away next to the dugout. I do not sit amongst those people. And they talk crap about 6-year-olds and 5-year-olds. Like, what?
Could you imagine if we did that at band concerts?
Yeah, I've made that comment before too. There was a TikTok going around a while back about that, like live commenting, live streaming a band concert. Did you see that one?
Yes, I did. But it's just like, and I understand it. And because I've been transitioning into the Palestine job and doing judging stuff, and clinicking, Alexa's fear came true of like her running the show on the T-ball aspect. And I
Yes.
apologize. But I felt like you got a good Mother's Day gift because of it.
Yes, I did. I mean, I don't deserve anything just because I take my kids to their T-ball games. That's what I should do anyway. But
You show up, I get.
yeah, I know. But it's just like the people are awful, and it's like your kids are on the same team as my kid. It's not it's not necessarily the other teams. Some of the parents are on the same team.
Yeah, and they talk poorly about
my kid.
Our kid, other people's kids. Is like, first of all, your kid's out there eating dirt.
Yeah.
Don't say anything about my child. Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Yeah.
Is that the cover art?
Yeah, that can't be. But it's just like I don't understand that aspect of it. And when we did soccer, it was not like that.
No.
And like we're probably gonna do dance in Palestine. And I doubt that it's like that. I mean, I don't know because I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. It's just
I think flag football that we're also planning to probably do will be more like that than like the other stuff. The soccer might be too because they're very competitive in the soccer.
They are very competitive soccer.
realm.
But it's just like it blows my mind. And like
I just don't get it. And like my kid, like you're talking about
this kid,
you're
the
talking
kids
about
don't know how to
kids.
wipe their butt.
Well,
yet.
they don't understand fully what's going on in the game. They're just doing it because that's what the coach tells them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day, Eleanor had to pick up the ball and throw it to the catcher. But she was in the outfield. She can't throw that far. And they were yelling at her to throw it home. And so she threw it to the first baseman so the first baseman could throw it home, which is that was what they wanted her to do. But it's just like, she didn't understand why she did that. I know that. Some kids do. I know that my kid right now doesn't. She will. But she doesn't understand why. She did exactly what they asked of them, what the coaches asked of her.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's the whole point of playing the game is so that she can learn, not so that they can win and go to state.
Yeah,
you know?
At least at this level, I completely understand.
Yeah, but
if it's
and
like
I agree with you,
different,
but at the same time, this is city league t-ball.
Yeah,
This is not.
T-ball.
It's not travel select t-ball. You know?
Yeah,
it's not like
this is the beginning skill. Like that's,
right, and like I want them to learn the skills, which was your whole argument. Is if they don't do it, they won't learn the skills, which is true. That is true. They won't do it. But in what environment?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, which is like, ugh.
maybe I'm just too protective of a parent. I
No,
don't even think I'm
no.
protective, honestly. It's just like
I think that's
I'm
like,
selective about what environments I will choose to put them in.
which is rightfully so. But kids are kids, like especially at that age. And this is one of the other things that I had the conversation with about a couple of like older kids who are in college now that have come back to the band hall since they know we're leaving, and which is also nice to see some of these older kids come
Mhm.
back. But they were like, one, I had one kid come back and apologize
Yeah.
for being as difficult as he was.
That doesn't happen very
No,
often,
but
but
he was like,
he's
I mean, I go like, dude, you were great. You were great. Now you were just a little stubborn to certain things. He goes, I appreciate a lot of the things you taught me, which is like, oh, there's those moments of just like, this is nice.
I will say my first year of teaching, I had a really challenging kid in 6th grade. And I will always remember what the AP said to me because this kid was just like doing dumb stuff and he got in trouble, whatever. He was like, yeah, he's a handful. He's going to be a great adult someday. And that's always stuck with me because you know which kids those are. And they're most of the time they're boys that are like, um, just kind of like rambunctious and like they just make impulsive decisions and they're stupid. And it's like, but I can see the potential in you. You're going to be a great
Yeah.
adult one day. That's what that makes me think of. I always the kid that you're talking about, I always knew he's going to be a good adult one day,
Mhm.
but he just needed some time for his brain to develop, I
Yeah.
guess.
And I mean, but like just some of those, we force kids to make so many decisions so early. And then it's just like, ugh, you know?
Yeah, there's like a whole conversation behind this that we're not going to get into about like public school, um, and like the downfalls of public school, and I think that that's one of them. It's like why in 8th grade do they have to choose their career?
I mean, you changed your degree
And
plan in
and so
college.
will all of these other
Yeah.
kids.
There's so many people. I mean, I've talked about this
Not
before.
all of them will, but there's
There's so
enough.
many. I mean, how many people did we go to college with that are
Well,
no longer band
there are
directors?
also like careers out there that you don't even know about until
Yep.
you get older
Mm-hmm.
or just experience more.
Well, it's just like prime example, your sister.
Yeah. My sister kind of like floated around a little bit before she found her career that now she is like, I don't know, how long has she done it? 20 years?
She's about to retire.
Yeah, really. My sister's an air traffic controller and she did not start doing that until she was like, let's see, probably
Late 20s. There's a cut.
no, it's
There's a
not late 20s.
threshold.
She was in her early 20s, but she had kind of like not had a career path up until then. She had just kind of like worked jobs and then she found that and like that's been her career. But yeah, she gets to retire in like 7 years. So,
Yeah, she'll retire before she's 50.
I mean, she hates her job. Don't tell the government, but but
Technically, we're government employees.
yeah, if you're our FBI agent, just don't tell anyone, okay? Yeah, but that's like one perk is that she'll be like fully retired in like 7 years.
Yeah,
And you'll still have to work for another 20 and y'all are the exact same age, so
20.
not
Yeah.
20, but a lot.
Oh, I'm 40 and
40 plus 17 is not as high as you need it to be.
plus 17. That's 57. So if I work till I'm 60, that's over my limit.
60?
Yeah,
You can retire before you're 60?
I think so.
Oh, well, this isn't so bad then. I thought you were going to be like 70 on the podium.
I probably won't stop working anyways.
I can see you like kind of
Die.
doing what Chris McClellan has done and like he's a consultant now.
Nobody wants to listen to me.
That's true. Can we talk about OPS then?
Sure.
Okay.
How did OPS go for you?
Well, this is like I have a lot to say on this topic. First of all, you didn't have any pieces advanced.
I know. Like this is the first time since I've entered.
Well, you've only entered like
Three
you've only
times.
entered 3 times.
Yeah.
Technically, you've entered 4 times total because you entered at Wortham.
Yeah.
and then you've entered 3 times at Gatesville.
Yeah, this is the first time I haven't had anything advanced.
Yeah, and I think that just, like, there's a lot of factors that go into that, which also speaks to this. I do think your recordings could have been better, obviously. 2, I think that people all around put a lot of emphasis and, like, kinda get their feelings hurt, me included, if their pieces don't do very well, but it's like, that's not a testament to, like, the impact that you've made on your students, and I think sometimes we forget that, like, you have to submit your, like, best recording from UIL or an approved festival, but that's not necessarily, like, a valid X-ray of your program. Just like your contest results might not be the same thing either. Like, that one snapshot of time when, like, your clarinet player dropped their instrument before they got onto the stage and, like, their reed is broken and so on and so forth, like, that does not speak to, like, your validity as a teacher, and I feel like a lot of people just put a lot of emphasis onto that.
Yeah. And like I'm a competitive person,
You are.
and I there's a reason why I didn't enter contest for a long time.
Yeah, but it's because, like, it's just, like, kinda, like, bearing your soul a little bit. So it's hard when you don't do as well as you hoped, but all that to say, I just think that, like, for everyone, like, if you did well, great. If you didn't do well, that's also fine, and, like, doesn't mean that you're terrible or bad. I feel like that's always the first place, like, our mind goes. It's like, "Oh, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore because my pieces didn't do well," or, like, whatever. But I just think we always see the negative out of it and not the positive. It's like, "Well, my kids played a lot of rep and they did it pretty well, and I'm satisfied with that," you know?
Yeah, I just like I don't know. I always want things to be in the best light, for the program. And sometimes nobody else is going to listen to those recordings except for me and that one panel.
Well, and the kids, like,
Yeah.
if you make it available to them.
So
I stumbled across a lot of, like, as we've been, like, moving our stuff and packing and stuff, I've stumbled across a lot of old CDs, and I would like to, like, listen to them. Some of them are from when I was in high school, and I would really like to, like, plug in the CD drive and see what's going on there.
well, okay. So a prime example. So Tim Husky has
Oh my gosh, I
posted
love
the
that so much.
old
Yep, I learned a lot
sheets.
about myself in those, in my lineage,
But
in those results.
yep.
It's the results from 1984 to 2005, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like all, like, you can click on a region for a year and, like, see the results, and that is so 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 fun to me. I love seeing where people used to teach and, like, what they played in, like, 1990, you know? I love that.
Yeah. And there are some things that have been played so much.
Yeah. And there are some people that have been at the same school since 1985. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is absolutely nuts. But Alexa has 3 pieces advancing to area.
I wasn't gonna bring that up. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but I was proud of those recordings. And,
You
like, the
started
work that the
crying when
kids
you
did.
saw the results.
Okay, leave me alone. You don't have to out me like
Well,
that.
it's something to be proud
Well,
of.
I don't put like any expectation behind it, and so I was just like surprised because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do very well. But that's okay. I didn't do well last year, but I've told the fiasco of last year, right?
Yes.
Not that I would have done any better, but how the recordings that I intended to submit got lost.
But
It's always an adventure.
Yeah, it's always an adventure. Well, we also have a dear friend of ours that is also moving schools.
We have several dear friends that are moving schools.
Yeah, one we can't talk about just yet.
I don't even know who you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. Are you talking about Jesus?
Yes.
Yep. I would like to have him back on the podcast in like 9 months or so because his situation is unique.
Yes.
Is very unique.
Well, and like when him and I talked about like
you probably know more about it than I do.
Well, when we talked about like him taking that job, his family was a huge component of it.
Yep.
Just because, just like a lot of us, and we've talked about like coaches' widows. on the pod before, but like band director widows, and I felt like Jesus was feeling that a whole lot, the same way I kind of feel about it, which is tough.
Yeah.
And he had an opportunity to alleviate that quite a bit, and so he took that opportunity. And like, who's man, like that's the other bad thing. That the thing that's kind of sucks about leaving is that like I view all my band kids as my kids, but ultimately they're gonna leave me.
Yeah.
You know, when I get old and decrepit, who's gonna put me in a nursing home or clean my butt? It ain't any of them. Hopefully, it's not any of them.
Well, hopefully it's not your actual children either, but
Yeah.
yeah, it would be them.
Yeah, man, put a bullet in me. Take me out back. Bury me next to the dog. That dog.
You got that dog in you, so.
But like, I mean, you got to do what's best for you guys. Like, really take care of you and your family.
And I'll not to be like kind of like band director morbid or anything, but that leads a lot of people out of the profession.
That sure does.
And I think that that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad to see good people get out.
It is, but at the same time, like, you got a life to live, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But as we sit in our living room looking at all these boxes, guys, we've been in this house for 10 years. You don't understand how much crap you have until.
Well, and I don't even feel like we have like a lot of stuff.
No,
but we're still getting rid of a lot of it.
Yeah. Like we're going to throw away a whole lot of things, but it's been an adventure. I'm glad and happy for my time at Gatesville, but you know, it is time for a new chapter, and I'm gonna love those kids just as much as
we will always love any kids that you teach.
Yeah,
that's just how it be.
Yeah, but you know, just finishing the job correctly.
Is that your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, just finish it out.
You don't have any like rapid fire questions or anything prepared?
No.
I do have one question that I think we should add to the rapid fire that I'm just going to go ahead and ask you now. Okay. And this is, you'll know why I asked you this when I ask it you. Okay. So this is my one question for you.
Okay.
What would your last meal be?
Oh.
And you know why I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay. The Alton Brown Mythical Kitchen.
My last meal. Like, how many courses am I allowed?
Any. I don't.
Any?
Yeah.
I would probably open up with a nice yellowtail roll. I think that would be my opening. Just like 2 pieces.
Just like an
appetizer. Like I wouldn't say an appetizer.
Sashimi?
Yeah, sashimi. Okay. But like real, like I want to go, like it has to be like they
like
just
you want like uchi, like
yes.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, just like off the top with a good, honestly, dirty martini to open it up.
For your last meal, you're drinking a dirty martini?
No. Okay. That'd be my first drink.
I hear you. Okay.
That'd be my first drink. Okay. And then what we would do is go into a nice Caesar salad, table side. Then I would have specifically Franklin's brisket.
Okay.
As my main part. Okay. That would be my main part of that meal. With Mexican rice.
Oh.
Yeah. Mexican rice and refried beans.
I guess that tracks. I've never thought about that, but okay.
Okay. And then I would have a small cup of minestrone.
Okay.
Okay. And for dessert, okay, actually at this point in time, I would have a smoked old fashioned.
Okay. A smoked old fashioned?
Smoked old fashioned. Lightly smoked. Lightly smoked.
Okay.
Okay. And it would be made with black walnut bitters.
Yeah, that's how I usually make this. I had this, but I had like those really bad smoked
yeah, it's
old
because they
fashions.
were over smoked.
Yeah.
Like I think they actually just
I don't know why that's so popular and they're so bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You have to have there's a right level of smoke. Okay. And then That's where I would have my old fashioned. And then I would go into my dessert, and I would have a cobbler.
I thought you were going to say cherry and pineapple dump cake.
I thought about it, but I think I can get the same thing out of a cobbler, blueberry cobbler.
Ooh, I like blueberries.
Okay, with a scoop of Bluebell vanilla bean
Thank you.
ice cream. Okay.
I'm obsessed with vanilla beans.
Yes, and I would finish it with a nice espresso.
Where are we getting the beans for these?
The beans, blue bottle.
Okay, thank you.
At this point.
Okay, great.
Until we find something better.
Okay, that's good. That's very good.
Okay, what would your last meal be?
Okay, so we're starting out. I haven't really thought this through. I'm not gonna have a very profound answer here.
You put me on the spot, homie.
I know. We're starting with a shot of tequila. Let's start there. And then some sort of seafood. Actually, I know what it is. A shrimp cocktail with a very zesty cocktail sauce. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to transition and we're going to have some octopus salad. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's octopus, right? It's not squid. It's octopus.
Yeah.
Octopus salad. And then we're going to have a salad specifically that has candied walnuts or pecans.
Ooh.
Either one's fine. Green apples, cranberries, and some sort of vinaigrette over like a leafy green, like an arugula situation or something. Then I'm going to have a cocktail. Probably a jungle bird.
Ooh. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And then this is where it's hard. Probably... I want a scallop, a bit of prime rib, and like a Crunchwrap Supreme with some fire sauce. And then I'll like take a page out of your book and I'll have an old fashioned, preferably not smoked, but with a really good cherry in it, like a Luxardo cherry. Made with Weller 107. And then and then for dessert, probably a molten lava cake with cookie two-step ice cream on the side.
Oh.
Yeah. And then an espresso, a hot espresso. You know, most of the time I drink like iced espresso, but
yes,
with dessert, it's got to be hot. Like a little cortado or something.
Sound like it hot.
Yeah. Wow, that took too much mental effort. And I still don't think that's like exactly accurate. But here we are.
Yeah. Well, Alexa, I think that's all I got.
Do you have any other parting words other than
do the thing?
Create good transitions.
Yep.
Finish strong.
Yep.
Do your paperwork. That's always what you tell people.
Yep.
Do your paperwork.
People don't like it when you don't do your paperwork.
Yeah, I know. Well, all right. Well, thanks for listening to Band Yap. We'll see you next time. Bye.
We out.